Welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. You can see I'm loading up the truck and getting ready to hitch. We are headed to Bald Eagle State Park in central Pennsylvania. I'll bring you back when we get there. We have made it to our site. We are in site 119. There for the week. See, we got the flag flying. It is a paved site, and you can see on the service side we have sewer, water, and electric. Relatively new. There's 50, 30, and 20 there. And then on the state parks, when you go to load this, you have to pull this down, and then that builds the pressure and locks it so it doesn't leak there. But at a different state park, we had an issue with that. I had to put a tie wrap on there to keep it from slipping. So you just kind of want to watch that if you're at a newer PA state park and it has that type of a water spigot. I backed it up a little further than the pavement. I'll show you why on the other side. But since the back stabilizers were on the grass, I used the plastic stops. You can see the paddles for the kayaks. We're going to use the kayaks in the reservoir. And here you can see on the fun side the air conditioning condensation drops here, so I knew if I backed up far enough it would hit the water and not the pavement. So that's why we set it up the way we did. On the fun side, you can see it has a fire ring with a grate on the top, picnic table, and it has the lantern slash trash holder, but of course I use that for my fire poker, so I know where it is. It was off side to side about 3.5 inches or so. So you can see I have 2 boards under there to level it up, which wasn't bad. Easy to back into. I got them level now. We got the chairs out. I've got the little table out and Phoebe's chair. Marie's bike's there. There's my Jazion. We're gonna rent a pontoon boat since I can't drag the camper in the pontoon, but they wanted you to rent your anchor. Well, I have a dozen anchors in the garage, so I brought one with me. We do have the kayaks with us up top, and there's room for a second car. They don't want you parking on the grass, but if it fits, it's okay. And Maria's leaving earlier than I am to take care of her chickens, so she followed me up with her car. So that's the site. Here's the bathhouse. See, they have a sink for doing dishes out front, a board with lots of information, and they got the volleyball net right next to it. Let's check it out. Very clean. A couple urinals, a couple stalls, a couple urinals, 3 sinks, and 2 showers, 1 handicapped and 1 regular. So the bathrooms are adequate, of course, with full hookups. You know, we don't really use them too much. All right, let's check out the site-by-site tour of the loop that we're in. So we are in the White Pine Loop. And this loop looks relatively new, and has full hookups and dog friendly. So that's why we chose it. There is a trash can at the front of the loop, so you don't have to go all the way to the front of the park to get rid of your trash. Some of the private campgrounds, they pick your trash up, so you get kind of used to that. You got to remember, it's the PA state parks, you take your trash. They do have cabins for rent. There's a couple of them that I've seen in the area. So that one is called Bluegill. And here's our first site in this loop. It is site 102. And you can see there's a Allegra Bay in there. And we've got plenty of room. Here's site 103. Nice site. And then for this loop, they have extra parking down here that you can park extra vehicles. Now, both of ours fit on our site. Here's site 104, full hookup. And you can see 105 is a pull-through. So this is a pull-through site, full hookup. .106 also will pull through, full hookup. Here is 107, full hookup. So you can see not a lot of trees in here because this is a relatively new loop that recently opened. Here's another pull through, site 108. See that Scottsdale is on site 109. Here's site 110. Here's site 111. Here's site 112. They're just getting set up. Here's site 113, just full hookup. Here's site 114, and you see, he could go back even further, but he had plenty of room with that Winnebago. Here's site 115, like that site. This Newmar Country Star is in site 116. Pet station right there. Here is site 117. Full hookup. There's site 118. There's our site 119. Here's site 120, and there's a trail that goes behind that one. You can see the trail goes back over that way. Here is site 121. Here's site 122. Here's site 123, and that's a big fiver in there. And we're at the Bluegill cabin. These cabins are nice. See, they got some Adirondack chairs and a table in the front. Really nice. Really nice cabin. Just across from the campground entrance are the dump stations. They do have some sites that are electric and electric only and primitive. So you can see, you can run a couple different rigs through here at the same time. They do have potable water here and flush water. Very nice. So at Bald Eagle State Park, there are several places that you can launch your watercraft from. We are at the west launch, and you can see they do have a nice boat ramp here. Can't fish from the dock, but you can fish from your boat or the kayak. This looks like this will work, and got good area along there to fish. This looks nice. This would definitely work. Of course, there you see the kayaks up on the truck. Just waiting for the rest of our crew to get here so we can organize the fun. So in addition to using our kayaks, we're going to rent the pontoon boat for the day, and you can see we have a nice ramp here, and they have a whole bunch of rental boats, and then you can also put your boat in the dock here and leave it here if you want. So very nice. Now another area is called the winter launch, but it's also where the fishing pier is. So you can see the fishing pier is over there. They got plenty of parking. They have a pavilion for rent, a volleyball net, and a ramp that you can put your boat in or your kayak. And it does have a set of bathrooms up there. The water looks pretty good here. At the beach area, they got several pavilions you can rent, and you can see it's a pretty nice large beach area on the lake. And then over here is a playground. There's a playground right there. There's also a snack bar and shower house, changing rooms, bathrooms. Now here's your view if you stay at the Nature Inn at Bald Eagle State Park. It looks like it's a restaurant, but it's only for guests of the hotel, not for folks in the campground. So you can't make a reservation to have dinner there. That's what we were checking on. But it is a nice inn. The minute I turn on the camera, that rooster starts crowing.
It was another great week, or no, it was a week.
It was a week?
It was another great week at another state park.
Yeah, and the site was nice. It was full hookup. But we did get to do a lot of activities at that state park. What was one of the things we did?
We got to do some kayaking.
Yeah, and the lake that's out there is really large, and they have multiple places you can put the kayaks in the water. What else did we do besides kayaking?
We rented a pontoon boat for the morning hours.
So at this state park, you can have horsepower greater than 20. So we rented a pontoon and went out for the day and did a little fishing. What's nearby that we checked out?
We checked out Penn's cave.
So Penn's Cave currently is private, although there's talk it might become a state park. You get in a boat and you go through the cave on a boat and then come out to a lake on the other side. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that was. It was a great tour guide too. He was he kept us engaged and interested.
And very informative.
Yes.
So would you go there again?
Of course.
So look, if you enjoyed this video or it helped you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps us out a lot. Also, ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that,
Go have some fun out there.
hey, thanks for watching.